We'll get into the decel cut. We can't do anything with that just yet. We can't really see too much. Cam switch state is our VTEC function. The RPM lockout, we have to be at least 500 RPM for it to engage. Temperature lockout, we'll set it at 20 degrees Celsius. TPS lockout, probably be at 30 or 40% throttle for it to engage. Oil pressure lockout, we'll set it at 0 because we don't have an oil pressure sensor fitted to the engine. Oil switch lockout is off. Speed channel lockout, speed lockout, user lockout, switch on, hold off timer. We're gonna leave that all zeroed out. Cam switch table. This is gonna be commanding when that switch needs to happen. So if we go here to our table axes, we can do this based on engine speed here. So we'll leave this engine speed. Let's just click OK here and click yes. So a value of 0 means we don't want VTEC on. A value of 1 means we want it on. So what we can do here is actually base this on engine speed and base this on manifold pressure. And we'll start our manifold pressure at 0. We'll do 20 kPa increments. And let's move in a total of 11 sites. That's a little bit too much here. That should be fine. So now we have a table here based on manifold pressure and then also based on engine speed. So if we want VTEC to engage, let's say at 4,000 RPM, we would put a value of 1 in the table here. If we wanted to make sure it engages at 4,000 RPM above 40 kPa, well, then we would populate values of 1 here and 0 below. 0's off, 1's on. So you can do this in a multitude of different ways. This will be pretty good. We have a threshold based on throttle position, manifold pressure, and engine speed for cam switch. So that should work fairly well. Ethanol sensor setup here. We do have a GM sensor and sensor fault delay here, be 4 seconds. Fault table here. This is going to be what it defaults to. If we have it unplugged, we'll have it at 85%. That should be okay for a fault default value. Idle speed control, closed loop. Let's set it to open loop. We're going to do this very specifically here. Hold time 3 seconds, decay rate 50 RPMs per second. Main target table. This is where we want the engine to idle at. So this is drive speed versus coolant temp. We don't have drive speed and we can simplify this a bit. Let's get rid of drive speed and let's just do it based on coolant temperature. I'm going to command here on a cold engine, 1400 RPM is where I want to go in and have the engine idle at. On a warm engine, I'm going to command it here from 60 Celsius and higher, 900 RPM, and in between these two, we'll use R and we'll progressively taper down our idle target as the engine starts to warm up here. And if we go in here to the initial position table, this is the duty cycle we command from our idle control motor in a 0 to 100% range. So we can see here engine temperature, idle target. So looking at this, we're going to find if we have a high idle target, we naturally want to have a higher duty cycle command here. And then as we go here and we have a lower target, we're going to have a lower duty cycle command output. And then colder temperatures will have a higher value. You can see this table, how it's kind of a three-dimensional indexing type of table. Let's just leave the values where they're at and we'll try them. And we'll tweak and adjust this as we need. It's an open loop, so it's going to follow purely what we have in the table here and not do any feedbacking from our Emtron. We're doing this very specifically, so everything is set up so that it's going to make it very simple to dial the idle control in, and then we can turn the closed loop on if we want. And target offsets, this is everything that we would offset in terms of target speed.
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here. And you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.